Spirit comes in all different forms. When he wants to communicate to us, he'll transform into a human. This painting here that shows the hand, that's the hand coming out from the banda, which is from the ground. All this symbol here that I've painted is all trees, grass, seeds, food, all food that lives under the ground. The spirit, the brilliety we call it, the spirit takes care of it. It brings water to travel right through, which again back to relate to the rainbow serpent. Rainbow serpent will cause current on the ground, the lightning strikes, and when the lightning strikes, that's where the rainbow serpent knows where animals or fruit or plants needing water but can't find water. So when the lightning strikes, it gives energies to the ground, which then makes food and life so that we all can eat. This in the middle is water, also like a realm of another world that belongs only to the spirit world, and those of us who can speak a spirit language can only be whether it's a witch doctor, whether it's a messenger or someone that's a higher chief that can communicate to all living things, including the spirit himself. Every songland we have, it all relates back to the spirit, to Mother Nature, to ourselves and our totems, our spirit animals, the land, the water, and the fruit. So every plant, every song we sing also to connect back to us, to our ancestors, tell stories of the large animals like the big kangaroo back in the days, or any sort of monstrous stuff, image that have been painted on the wall. So all that is connecting back to what we do now. So through music, through art, through dance, through telling stories, going out on country and learning all this stuff, they're not just from this life, they're from thousands of generations before that have been passed on to us, and only we know how to communicate this by looking at the image. This painting here is about all the line of the law. Certain tones, certain music, certain tapping, certain dancing, hitting. Everything that the nature throw at us, so such as lightning. So when the lightning strikes, we stomp our ground. When the wind blows and the tree sways, we start to move our body, starting to dance. So this is the first creating of law, dance, art, music, story. This whole painting right here tells you a whole different style of line that represents each certain law that comes with music, that comes with painting, that comes with the way we speak. Every line here tells you a story. For example, this one here, this here is the lining of the hills. You see this line is not, it's different to those lines there that we have, that I've painted along here. This law here is only for the hill. On top of, when you look bird's eye view, you'll see just a round circle. Now that round circle gave us an image of what sacred site can mean. When we paint sacred site, this painting here, the white line in the middle, that white line talking about this white line here. One white line can tell you that it's mainly talking about spirits, the different tone, the wavy tone, this line here is only the law for music or for spirits, and certain spirits that you can reach to communicate with. These ones here are law lines. Again, it comes back to different tribes. So different tribes have their border. Different tribes, say for example, Gooniyandi split up into three parts. The top Gooniyandi, different dialect to the middle Gooniyandi, different dialect to the bottom Gooniyandi. Even though we call ourselves Gooniyandi, all right, there's different ways of speaking Gooniyandi. Okay, in this Gooniyandi, there's what separates us from the rest of the Gooniyandi is skin groups. What separates us from the skin group is totem. So animals, sometimes our totem can be people. So someone done something, real good. So someone pass away and then come back with that scar. For me, for example, my father went out hunting and speared an emu straight through the chest. Then my grandfather told my father, you know what, you have a baby coming along the way. My dad didn't understand. He was too young until mom was pregnant for me. And then who came with the scar? I did. And I still have the scar here. And this whole system of the spirit, the reason we speak to spirit and communicate and ask for guidance and asking for, help and support, when we pray or when we sing or when we dance to the spirit, they always listen. But you only can communicate through the tones, through the way we're singing. So this year is the whole mapping of what culture is today for Gooniyandi people and for the whole Australia too. I'm explaining it in a different way, but it'll understand when they speak and when they talk on behalf of their people and their language, they'll understand this painting very well too. But because I painted this painting, I understand what I painted. It's a very sacred painting, but this is the painting of all painting that needs to be heard, seen, and also experienced. When we go out, for example, have you guys been out on, where have you been so far? Furthest north?
We've been in the Pilbara working for a long time, yes.
Yeah.
So we've been all around Pilbara.
All around Kimberley.
Yeah.
You seen how there's not much life there?
Yeah.
It's just all desert.
Yeah, you don't see much.
Yeah, that's from spirit. So when spirit travels, everywhere it touches, it burns the source of flower, fruit, and plants and all that. So that's the whole reason so you know that the Pilbara is very strong in spirit because there's no life there. Where if you come up to Broome, there's trees all over. You can hunt and you can fish, you can do everything. But spirits only come through underground. Where they travel, where they make, like a tunnel underground, everything that stands on top of this tunnel burns. So you can see all the lines come here, they all connect. Imagine this is Australia. Every road, route, every little path of kangaroo path, you know that everything's, no matter where you are, you're still stepping on or standing and walking or laying or sleep, you're still on spirited ground. So this painting is about. This is Irala, the rain weather. This is the cold weather, which we call Mugwala. This one here is Barana. Now, all like a post, look like a post, but these are the Dawa, the chief, the boss of the seasons. Before turning into hot weather, before turning into rain weather, there's a Gilangwa first. The Gilangwa comes after the Ngamri. After the hot weather is finished, when the hot weather starts again, there's a light hot, that's the woman, that's the Ngamri. Then it turns into Gilangwa, the hot heat where you try to run for miles. It feels like you have asthma and you can't breathe. That's how hot and humid it is. Then it turns into rain weather, Irala. Same again, Irala. So there's a Ngamri and there's a Gulangwa. There's a woman rain first, and then there's a man. The slow, light rain, that's the woman. The hard thunder, wind, lightning, that's the man. Cold weather, same again. You'll have the light cold, which is called the Ngamri. Then you'll have the real deep cold, then where you start to get, goosebumps and all that stuff, but that's where the Gilangwa is, the real cold, real cold. This on top here, this is a boundary by itself. These are the people that connects back to these spirits where totem come about. My totem is the Kanangaja, my skill Kanangaja is the emu. So I would fit in this clan as well. So as well, these ones here in the middle, they all clan groups, different names, different language, different dialects speaking. I can't understand Noongar people if they speak in here. They can't understand what I'm speaking when where I'm from up north. Up top, you can see in the middle here, there's lines, white line. Those lines are the belly of the serpent. That's the rainbow serpent. It controls all the weather, it controls the spirit, it controls the country, the tradition, the storyline, the song line we sing for. Then On top is the wavy design that represents the spirit of the country, spirit of the wind. The spirit is not a permanent structure, it all moves, waves, it goes from one tribe to another, it continues and tells the same story. That's why everybody come from all around Australia, they all have that one story, one songline that have been passed through only by the spirit, which only be sent by the Dao, which is the rainbow circle. That's the story of this painting. So this painting here is about the Manikanduri, the two sisters. Beside the two sisters, there's the mother, a small hill on the side. Long time ago, when big flood water used to come from the north, high, real deep and strong, lightning and thunder, we couldn't, all the old people used to be asleep, all the kids used to be asleep, and this current used to just come, we call it the dunga, so it only creeps up at us at night. Used to wash away all the Gooniyandi people now. Out in this river now where the Fitzroy River meets the ocean in Broome, this water here, you're looking at probably, I don't know how many kilometers, maybe a kilometer wide, this river. And so when all the old people used to get washed away, this flood take all these people and spread them all around the country, all around the Kimberley's Gooniyandi country. So that's why Gooniyandi, there's top, middle and bottom, Lali, Biliga, Baburu, where all the old people spread out now. These, through by this mother, these two baby couldn't survive, so mom had to keep them from drowning, so she put them on their shoulder and keep lifting them up while mom was under the water and kept on swimming. The current pushed them out and it was very strong. Mom couldn't stand. She just had enough power and strength to just pull herself up, put her baby back in, and breathe again, bring them back up top. And that's why they all, if mom found one big log, we call Greli. She put those babies around this log and put her hand, wrapped her hand tightly around them. And then mom couldn't survive, but she kept her hand like this, so she drowned. So that's the only reason these two hills stand strong, but beside it is a little small hill that represents mom drowned. But the Gooniyandi people, again, through the mother is sacred for us. These two here, they stand tall, so every Gooniyandi people, they always have twins because of these two hills represent, and then the mother drowned. So it's like so much mother sacrifice in order for us to be here today. So that's the story of the Manikanduri.